All right, I'm back on target here. Let's start again in number Membet. So number Membet says V'tov hu shetekavin tame b'shem avge ad shetesha. Leif she'ayin ikavanosa tekavin rak b'shem avge. O kavanosa sheyikavin es kol shem mab de Ana Bakoach v'rak mazkir as haschalas Hashem. O Shema b'kol laila, or maybe every night. Yesh lekavin as netach Hashem hashayich le'osa halayla. B'kan da'ayrech b'leil rishon hisker es Hashem harishon uv'sidurin lo hivil lekavin shem zer b'kodem hashena. So he says, but in the siddur it doesn't say that. V'inyan shem zeh yesh l'tzayim as muvach b'shar ruach hakodesh shem avgitats chorus koich hamaktarim v'haklipos. What does it do? It cuts off the power of the accusations, the klipos, ha'olam ad vok elyona, which goes up to the vok elyona. Now, what does he mean by vok elyona? Does he mean chabad chagat? What does he mean? V'zeh sod Hashem hanizkar, the osias abag, those three letters, shabo heim sod vok ha'olam begematria abag. It's a concept of a vok, which comes with abag, of course, is the gematria 6. For osias yotats, the other part, shabo who Lenatek hamaktar gets to cut off the accusation. The gam abag pirusho satan. Now where do we see that? And he says kamosha amrach b'talmud abag debei rav. There we saw that with abga debei av ad kan l'shoda. Bekitzer, he says this also means satan. So it has something to do with abag, and then you're going to cut it off, which is the satan, and you're going to cut it off. Okay, I just want to throw that in, if you don't mind. So let's look at turn the page, and we're going to go down the Nimsa. She'achar shesayim tefilas Ana Bakoach, that after you complete the Ana Bakoach, yaksa the kabin bepratos b'shem karasot, and then you go right away to the next name, besod b'shtayim yichasel panav, uganizgar le'el mamish, v'rushar Hashem is kolulimbo, and all the other names are included in that, and I'm assuming he means including the abgitats. V'gam yikavid bepratos el oshniya, but also you should think specifically in the second letter, shebashem beben mab debriya, v'gam el d'shem ashenich hayotz b'menu. Now this thing about the second letter I didn't really understand. Haven't been seen it clear to me exactly what that letter is. Let's look over here. B'kein sedach ha'gavanda b'yom sheni la'achar shasayim lomer kol tefilas Ana Bakoach. You should go back lomer od shlosha pa'amim es ha'chelik ha'sheni kabel rinas amechas agvenet avinu nora. Now in my phone they have 4 different sets of 4, including Chabad, of different possibilities of how you could say this Ana Bakoach, or say the whole Kriya Shema L'Lamita. Everybody's a little bit different. I recognize what they're doing. This is according to Sfardim. So B'pam Rishona Yekavin as Aliyah's Navshel Ma'asiyah the Yitzira. So this is going to go over this. B'koach Shem Karasotan. So this is the concept of covering his face. And then the next set of 2, Here we're talking about the Nevesh. You would cause this to go up. Ubapam Shniya Yikavin La'alos as Nasha Meruach HaYitzira the Bria. So you made by saying the Ana Bakoach. This is your thought should be that you're moving your soul up. Bekol Shem was Mab the Bria, using those names, Shehem Shem Ekia Yaakov, and other places he said V'Shem Ekia Ekia. So that's a little confusing. You didn't really straighten out when you use the Akia Yaakov, and maybe you do it at the same time. B'Shem Ekia. Become the Bepratos as a Osa Shnia de Ekia Yaakov. Now, what is the second letter? I guess it's a Hey. V'es Hashem the Margola Yosef B'Benach B'Shuhu, and he says it looks like this. It's an Havaya Menukad with an Elokem. V'kein Yikaven es Aliyah Hashlishi. So he doesn't explain, which is how it is that there's an impact between the Havaya and the Akia, or the Akias, some kind of impact which produces a Margola. Doesn't really tell us what the Margola does, but apparently it's important. I guess maybe he does tell us, and I'm just looking for something that's not here. So therefore you think about the third Aliyah, what's the name Mabda Tzilus? I thought it's I've forgotten a little bit of this. I thought it was the Pashat, the Mali. Out of the Fisha B'Shem B'Zecha B'Ein Shinui B'Eim Yom L'Chavero, B'Sei the Kavanas Kol Yomim Shaver V'Lo Chosu De V'Aro. So the fact that he says B'Seder Kavanas Kol Yomim, Shaver is the same. Lo Chosu De V'Aro is not going back to try to explain that. I'm not sure what we wanted to say there. Number Ayin Aleph, v'nachzach b'chala inyan shetzarich sheyakaven shadis b'pratach b'shem karasatan. So you have to go back and do it again. B'kaven shehu b'gevura, and your kavana should be right here that this is dealing with gevura v'chavaya nikah b'shva. There you're going to have a chavaya which is menukad with this shva. V'chavaya acheres menukedes min roshe Teves v'yomer elokem yehi rekia, like that. Now, what did he say? V'yikaven shehu b'gevura. Okay, let's go on. So, choser devayer as seder hakavana shel ha'aliyah ha'rishona ma'aseh masiyah liyitzira shel yom sheni. So we're still talking about that. Shkein la'echu b'keter hakodem. Bir es aliyah hashniya miyitzira lebria, b'kavanas aliyah harishona ma'asiyah liyitzira yikaven shem karasatan, like we said before, v'yikaven shuhu keneged spheres segavura shaleza b'yom sheni, od yikaven elvaya achad b'nikud shva. So also when you look at he calls it a nikud shva. What does that mean? He said, "Shehu hanakuda de gevurim." V'chavaya shenis, but the second avaya, but nikud looks like this. It looks like that. Shehu hanika de osis rishona de Teves pasuk v'yom elokem yehi rekia, which is the pasuk rishon de yom sheni de ma'aser bereshis. Now this is a technique that I've seen. I've looked a lot at the Kriya Shema and Lamita in the Rishash Siddur, or also there's also the Nekudas HaKesef. I'm starting to use that more because it fits in better with this complete Ashkenaz davening here, and fits in better. So at any rate, Pasuk Rishon V'Yom Sheni de Ma'aser Bereshis, you take that Pasuk, and you're going to use the Nekudas from that Pasuk, and be able to bring it over to the Vaya. Shegeneged Shem Kara Satan Kamavura B'Tikun Tikuni Azora. Let's see where that was. V'Lil Shishi Yikampet Bepratos El Shem Neged Yakash. V'Havisa V'Haviso, and it's a Vaya Nekuda B'Cholim, will have the main idea over there will be in the Cholim. V'Vaya Cherev Neged Menukad Rosh Teves V'Yom Elokim Yikav V'Chamayim, and it looks once again taking those Rosh Tevos. So what is the technique? Obviously, it adds emphasis. It shows you that there's a penimistic aspect to it. But the question is that you're just showing us this, and it makes a greater emphasis. But I don't know exactly to explain how it helps or what it does. Once again, the Shem Ben Mab the Bria, which is going to be a combination of Ekia or Ekia Yaakov. Ve'el Hashem Shlisha Hiyotzi B'menu, the third name that comes out of it. Belil Yom Shlishi, Motzi Yom Sheni, Shebechinas Teves, Begumar Amiras Ana Bakoach, when you finish Ana Bakoach. Yachzach B'lomer Od Shlosha Pamim, same idea, as Hachedek Shlishi, No Gibor, which starts with No Gibor. So in the first time you say it, you should have in mind Aliyah from Asiyah to Yitzira, Me'asiyah, the Yitzira, B'kaven Shem Neged Yakash. So it's V'chem Havaya B'nikud Cholam B'teferes, V'havaya Shnira B'nikud Roshi Teves V'yomer Elokim Yakaber Ramayim, as this is the Ma'aser Bereshit, the Yom Shlishi. Again, the same technique. And then it comes out that the Havaya looks like this. B'prata B'pama Shenis Yikavet Es Chalira Shnerim Yitzira Debriya B'koich Shemos Mab Debriya. B'pratas Yikavet Os Shlishi T'Shem Mab Debriya, which is Ekye Yaakov. So you concentrate on that. The Shem Mab Debriya. Yikavet Gam Es Shem the Margaloch Hayotzi B'ben V'hu Shem Matz. Now, so we see that what he's telling us is the, not giving me what I'm looking for as a background on these margolas. Someplace where there's some of the definition, someplace where it says margola, what does the margola do? But he says it produces this. And the margola is some sort of a catalyst, I'm not sure. Ubapam HaShlishis, you come in as Aliyah HaShlishis, you have to think about the third Aliyah. Mebriya L'Chatzila B'Kol Shem Mab Datzilus. Number Ein Gimel the Belech Revi Yikaven Hashem Bater Tzachach, Tatzach. So he says Tatzag, yeah. Over Yosech Bechirik, you're going to see that it's going to represent the Chirik because the Chirik is Netzach. V'Havaya Chered Benukad Min Arosha Teves V'Yomer Elokim Yehi Ma'ora. So the two Havayas here, and this is what it looks like. V'os Revi, the Shem Mab, also the fourth letter, as it goes with the fourth day of the Shem Mab Debriya, the Shem V'Shem Revi Yotze B'menu, and then the name which he sarcastic the Margola, is that what he means? Belel Yom Revihi Motzi Yom Shlishi Shebechinas Netzach Begamar Amiras Ana Bakoach Yachzor Loma Od Shlosh Pamim Esachelek Revi. So we want to say three times with the fourth piece. Now I noticed that in the Rishash Siddur, and the same thing with the Nekudas Kesef Siddur, they go each day. They take the pages to have each day. I really have looked at it carefully to see what if there are any differences, but each Siddur brings each time you're going to say it three times the whole display of the Rishash. So I have to look at it more closely. So anyway, so he said Amira Rishona, when we first start to say this, Yikaven es Aliyah Rishona Messiah the Yitzira v'Yikaven Shem Bater Tzatzak v'chein Chavaya B'Nikud Hirik the Natzach v'Aya Shnicha B'Nikud Roshi Teves v'Yomer Elokim Yehi Rukiah. Here we are, and again, so you have two different things here. One is that he takes the Roshi Teves. He doesn't take all the tables of any word. They're all the Nekudim of any word. Just takes the beginning one. So maybe it's the concept of Yom Shekulo, that everything is contained in the beginning letters. I don't know. Manaseh Bereshis, the Yom Reviv, and this is what it looks like. So he said, B'pam HaShenis, Yikaven es Aliyah Shnei Miyitzira, the Bria, B'kol Shem Mab the Bria. B'pratos Yikaven B'os Reviv, the Shem Mab the Bria, Ekye Yaakov. Now, what would that be? Fourth letter would be. Previously, it said that the Hayes represent Malchus, and it's hard for me to understand. What he's got here, Ekya would be the fourth letter, would be the Hay. Ekya Yaakov. Shabo Os Yud Shechain Os HaOs Yud Hu Keneged Netzach. He said because in this deal, the letter Yud corresponds to Netzach. Lo HaOs Hay, the Ekya, not the fourth letter of the name Ekya. Shu Keneged the Malchus. Meguvana Masach Belel Shabbos. That's what you think about in the Yellow Shabbos. Yu'un B'Shefach Gavanas Os Lamed Aleph and Lamed Gimel, which is behind us. V'Yikaven Gam El Shem Margala Yotze B'Menus. All of this Margala that's coming out from it, V'Hu Shem Kale. B'Pam HaShlisha Yikaven Etzer Alira Shlisha Mibriya Letzilus. What we said before, Shem Mabda Tzilus. A little bit more, so he says we're trying to, there's some marichas over the shefa coming down below us. I'm not sure that I understood it very well. So the way you menacate it is with the kibbutz. That would be for the fifth day. Of this pasuk, v'yom Elokim yishritzu hamayim, and here's what it would look like, using once again those vowels. Also the fifth letter. So I got totally confused over here by the what he said about Netzach. Let's go over here and let's say what he says here. That is, in how he counted the fourth letter on Netzach. Which was the fourth letter? As he says, it's a Yud. So, okay. Ovalel Chamishi, which is Motzai Revi, he writes, Shebechinazo Hod, Begemara Miras Ana Bakoach Yachsach Paloma Odes 3 times, as a Chelik Ashlishi, Chesed of Achasin Kadosh, Ba'amirach Arishon, Yekaven Eser Aliyah Arishon, and Mesiv the Yisirach of Yekaven Shem Chagav Tene, Bechinavaya Benikud Shurak, you're going to have that idea. This is the Chavaya that's coming down, which is a Kubutz, the Hod. V'Chavaya Shnia, once again, there's another Chavaya to keep in mind here. Benikud Rosh Tevel V'Yomer Elokim Yishritzach B'Mayim, Ma'aseh Bereshis the Yom Chameshi. Who? That's that fifth day. Once again, he takes the Rosh Tevos, the Nikud, which is underneath the Rosh Tevos, and he puts it together with the Havaya. Now, there is something here. Obviously, the Havaya is somehow shining, let's say, perhaps into the Nikudim, or maybe not. Maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. B'pam ha'shniya, yikaven eser aliyach ha'shnicha miyitzira the bria b'koy Hashem l'smav the bria, which are b'prati yikaven ba'oz chamish the shem mav the bria, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would be a yud again of Akya Yaakov. V'yikaven gam el shem margalach ha'yotze b'menu, V'hu Shem Elokim, which is the name Elokim, but B'pam HaShlishi Yekaven as a Chalich HaShlishi Mebriya Datzilos B'kol Shem Mab Datzilos. We'll go on some more. We have this Arichas coming up in the Shefa Kavanos where he talks about a few things that I'm not 100% sure I understand. Obelel Shishi Yekaven B'pratos as Shem Yago Pazak. So we get to that name. And so the way we look at it is a Shurak Vav, what he calls a Shurak Vav, or we call it to that also. Vav, v'chavavaya cheres, menukadim min Rosh Teves, v'yomer Elokim, Totzeh ha'aretz, then it's going to say Dasha, and then he goes through those Rosh tables and comes out with the Nikudim that go along with it, v'oz shishis, the Shem, Mab the Bria, and you also be looking at the 6th letter of the Mab the Bria, V'Shem Shishi Yotzech B'Menu, and also the 6th name that comes out of it. Belel Yom HaShishi, so the night of the 6th day, which is he says, let me explain that this is, of course, Motzi Yom Chamishi, Shebechinasa Yisod Begumar Amiras Ana Bakoach. So he says, here we are back again to that. Yachzor Lomer Od Shlosh Pamim as Achelek Hashishi, that is this 6th part. Yochid Geya, he said, B'chamiras Harishona Yekaven as Achaliach Harishona Merasiya Liyitzur V'Kaven Shem Yagol Pazak V'chein Chavaya B'Nikud Shurak Vov. And it looks like this. Those are what we all the Yisod. Shani's benikud roshi Teves v'yom elokim totza haaretz amaisa bereshis diyom hashishi. Who Havaya looks like this. B'pam hashneya yikaven esach aliyach hashnecha miyitziva the bria begorashay mabda bebricha bepratos. You're looking at the 6th day. Yikaven ba'oz shishish the shem mabda bria. Ekya Yaakov, once again, the 6th letter over there would be the letter Hey. V'yikavin gam as shem margola hayotze b'menu, v'hu shem matz. B'pam ha'shlishis yikavin es aliyach ha'shlishis mebria l'atzilus b'kol shem mab l'atzilus. I guess we're really pretty much out of time here, so we went through those. We saw them all. There's an arichos coming up for the next time we look at this. And we'll see what that's all about.
Excellent.
Call to. Thank you.